Hello, everyone, and welcome to this hangout on Dreamworks' Stinky Nappy, the Boss Baby. I got nothing. I'm here with Harry, Thomas. We're both here to reflect on the Boss Baby, animated flick from DreamWorks Animation earlier this year, released around Easter time. Both of us had the seeing it, and we've actually both reviewed it on our channels. So my review is on the Mr. Childers 11 channel review. So do check those out if you want to hear really talk like thoroughly rant about the movie. But now I'm going to pass over the microphone to Harry. So Harry, even though I already know, what do you think of The Boss Baby? Take it away.
What was exactly going through DreamWorks' heads when they pitched this movie? I think it went something like this. Remember those two masterpieces that we made in 2010 and 2014? You know, the How to Train Your Dragon movies. Why don't we just release How to Train Your Dragon 3 this year? Oh, nah, fuck that. Let's just push it back to 2019 and make The Boss Baby instead. I wouldn't be surprised if that's exactly how it went down. DreamWorks, what the fuck are you doing? Are you even trying anymore? The Tom McGrath actually directed the Madagascar trilogy and Megamind, movies which I actually enjoyed. Oh man, buddy, what a step down to then this. And so, yeah, The Boss Baby, this might just be the worst DreamWorks movie. Yes, it's even worse than Shrek the Turds. It's
and Trolls.
And Trolls. Yes, the Trolls was bad, but this is
it sucks.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. It's if it weren't for the Emoji movie, this would be the worst animated movie of 2017. But just there's nothing memorable, nothing remarkable about The Boss Baby. I mean, I knew the idea and the premise for it was a freaking joke when it was first announced. When the trailers came out, I knew to stay away, but I couldn't resist seeing it to see if it really was that bad, and it was worse. Just oh my god, it was a struggle to watch. But even 5-year-olds can write better scripts than the scripts of The Boss Baby. I mean, the characters here are completely forgettable. Why, Alec Baldwin? How could you agree to be in this movie? Don't you have something better to do?
To do this movie.
I know. What? I know, right? What the fuck did they pay you, Mr. Baldwin? I mean, as the Boss Baby himself, he acts more like an antagonist than protagonist. It's stupid, and he's a complete. Yeah, he's just a rip-off of every baby character we've ever seen in cartoons, like Stewie from Family Guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, as you said in your review, like Stewie, like such a pompous baby. Oh, like, I mean, I've never seen Family Guy, but I know that's how he talks. I've obviously seen Seth MacFarlane do his voice, and of course, there's definitely an inspiration. Baby is like what I don't get is the beginning of this movie when and you see and business or family. What the fuck? Why would you? It's just absurd.
I know the whole. I know the whole. I know, right? The babies babe babies running a company called Baby Corp. That's fucking stupid. And Tim Templeton, I couldn't give a shit about him. He's the blandest DreamWorks protagonist ever to exist, and his parents, I remember their names. They did nothing in this movie, and the other side babies, they are atrociously annoying. Oh, and the animation. This is probably the crappiest animation DreamWorks has ever produced. It's so lazy. Numbers. I mean, in comparison to How to Train Your Dragon 2, which had groundbreaking animation.
It's pretty much a masterpiece. That movie's a masterpiece.
It is. How to Train Your Dragon 2 is a complete masterpiece. The animation here is a total ginormous step down from what DreamWorks have done in the past. I mean, even their movies from 1998, like Prince of Egypt, looked way better than this movie in comparison. And God, the movie is incredibly and frustratingly boring. I mean, I was yawning every time, and I can't believe even Tobey Maguire agrees to be in this movie.
They got Spider-Man in this. Oh, it's enough to make any.
They got Spider-Man in the Boss Baby. No,
I'm all webbed out.
I know.
For fuck's sake! For the love of God! Oh.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and Steve Buscemi as the villain. Wow.
Francis fucking name is that?
I know, right? That is just sad. That's just lame. Oh my God.
Randall from Monsters Inc. You know, he was so good in Monsters Inc. as Randall.
Oh yeah, he voiced Randall in Monsters Inc. A far superior movie.
Your favorite Pixar movie?
My favorite Pixar movie. Yes, and Steve Buscemi was amazing as Randall, and Randall was a legitimately intimidating and menacing bad guy, but this villain doesn't hold a candle to Randall, and
Man is so absurd. Sorry to interrupt you. Like when he says, "Oh, you know, I want to rid the world of babies. I want puppies." When he's launching his new puppy, it's like puppies are getting. The whole plot is just ridiculous. It's just nuts.
Yeah, right. I know. I know. It's fucking unrealistic, and there is zero sense and zero logic in this thing. I mean, you're wasting your time if you're trying to find anything in this script that makes sense. Just the fact that he wants to rid the world of babies and wants puppies to be the new cutest thing, that is not fucking menacing whatsoever. Yeah, that even kids wouldn't be scared by that. I mean, that is the stupidest fucking villain plan I've ever heard. And I mean, if you want to wipe out all the babies, you're basically going to commit genocide to the human race. You didn't think of that
let's get one thing straight. You know, I mean, we know with their animated films, but at least like Sing, a great movie, but at least it was believable. It was a believable concept, even though all of them were animated. I thought it was at least believable. I think this is just ridiculous.
Exactly. It's I didn't like Sing, but I could follow it easier than this. I had no fucking clue what the writers were on when they came up with with the idea. I mean, and the story is is
there's a story, is there?
oh yeah, oh yes, scratch that. There is no story. Yeah,
imagine a story.
Yeah, there's no story whatsoever. Just it's predictable as shit. You know, in the first second the movie starts that Tim and the Boss Baby are going to fall out, but then come together as brothers at the end, and it's completely forced. You feel nothing at the end when it happens, because they if you
relief that the movie, yeah, other than that, nothing.
Exactly. If you've seen the trailer, you've seen the whole damn movie. Yeah, and Dreamworks. You can do better than this. Seriously. And are there any positives to this piece of shit? None. It doesn't deserve any. Sorry, shit baby is up there with 50 shades is up there with 50 Shades Shittier, the Emoji Movie, the shitty Beauty and the Beast remake, Transformers The Last Fuck You, as one of the 5 worst movies.
Was the Lost Straw.
Yeah, as one of the 5 worst pieces of shit of 2017. The Boss Baby absolutely gets a 0 out of 10. Actually, try next time, Dreamworks.
Next time.
Yes, because they've actually confirmed a Shit Baby 2, can you believe? A sequel. Like,
no!
Because, we really asked for that. Not.
Oh, I don't trust this studio anymore. I don't trust them. They make... That's it. I'm out. If they continue to make great movies like and Kung Fu Panda and on occasion Shrek, but I mean, I've seen a lot of DreamWorks movies. Some have been better than others. I think that one's actually kind of decent. I think it's a guilty pleasure. I know everybody seems to hate it, but I like it. I don't know about you.
I like Sharp Tale too. I think it's pretty underrated.
Over the Hedge was all right. Good. Flushed Away was good. Was all the lot. I mean, Shrek the Turd was fucking awful.
Agreed.
Shrek 4 Ever After Good and this was good enough, and have been excellent. I mean, I guess it's been mostly they're on good levels, but I mean, I haven't. It was shit.
It was
the Boss. As for the Boss Baby, this is something else. I haven't got a fucking clue. Why would they greenlight an idea that's this shit? Movies that families could enjoy, but no, they're gonna make this. I mean, it's only for kids, but even I'm not the target audience for this movie. Animated movies. I don't mind the occasional poopy fart. I don't want you to make a whole fucking film out of it. Jesus. Just what? I saw the trailer for this movie. I knew it was going to be a shit. I mean, it is. It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, I cannot. But this movie. The fact that the baby is like an adult baby, he's a man inside a baby's body, and the whole categorization of the babies at the beginning, like how they get put into families or business. What the fuck? How does this work? They don't explain anything. They don't explain how this concept even works. They don't explain why they categorize them. But, you know, just what? Oh my God. And then, you know, we obviously focus on Tim Templeton, the little boy, and obviously the narration by Tobey Maguire, which is probably the best thing in the movie. That ain't saying much, but, and you know, it's such a predictable story. There is nothing here that is remotely unique about the story. It's the storyline. It's basically the message of the movie is, well, okay, right, fine, but the story is just awful. I mean, the fucking concept, like, oh, the babies need more love. Puppies are gonna take over. We must destroy the puppy. Like, I mean, this is. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Cats and Dogs. I mean, that movie gets a lot of shit, but I actually kind of like it. I think it's all right, you know, because it has a believable concept, and I think the idea is really good. You know, the whole cats versus dogs. Like, yeah, right. I mean, imagine what a movie about that.
Yeah, right. I enjoy Cats and Dogs too.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the sequel, which apparently was god awful.
The sequel was an abomination.
Yeah, was it called like Kitty Galore or something?
Yeah, Revenge of Kitty Galore.
Oh shit! I mean, as for speaking of Cats and Dogs, Tobey Maguire was in that movie as. But the Boss Baby, so it's kind of, it reminded me of that, the whole, you know, feud between one thing and dogs. Obviously, in that case, it was cats and dogs. But, you know, and, you know, for a time I thought, okay, there are some interesting imagination sequences from Tim when he's, like, playing with his brother or whatever. And I just don't understand how his parents don't notice the baby. Like, he's odd for a baby. Like, how could they not see that he's different to other babies? Are they that fucking dumb?
They don't notice the baby because the plot needs them to.
Oh, it's fucking ridiculous. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel voices the dad as well. That just goes to show how sad things get. I mean, yeah, I mean, great animation does not a great animated movie make. I'm sorry. And like you said, Steve Buscemi is the villain. What? I mean, seriously. Sorry about my voice. I voice cracked a bit there. What? I can't believe it. You know, his plan, oh, you know, I'm going to launch this new puppy where everybody is instantly in love with it. Like I give two shits. You know, I don't give a fuck who wins this argument. Just give me a fucking animated movie that's good and believable. But no, they cop out with a fucking brother storyline. There's a moment after a big chase scene where, you know, Tim and the baby, I mean, the baby who has no name, we shall say, they have this sort of argument, and then by the end they team up, and then in the end they let go of each other. But then they realize, oh, you know, I missed having a brother, but all I wanted is my brother back. You know, fucking genius script writing. I mean, you know, who wrote this script? This is just genius. I mean, you know, I'm literally rolling on the floor laughing and crying. Oh my God, you know, bring out the tissues. I mean, you know, detect the sarcasm in my voice if you don't mind. But this is easily the worst movie of DreamWorks that I've seen. I mean, I haven't seen nothing can be as gut-wrenchingly stinky as this. I mean, Shrek the Turd, that was bad, but at least you could follow it. At least it had a somewhat believable concept. This is just ridiculous. I mean, I don't know if this is meant to be, you know, obviously it's very unrealistic, but it's realistic and unrealistic. It doesn't really blend. Tonally, it's all over the place. I don't get it. I don't get what it's trying to do. I mean, you know, other than the whole brother message, is like, oh, you have to love your brother, but I don't have a brother, and I don't. This movie just, I can't relate to this movie. It doesn't. Nobody can relate to this movie. You will only enjoy this movie if you are like from ages 0 to 4 at most, maybe 5 at a push. It's just fucking awful. I mean, not even the soundtrack can save it. And there's this stupid character, this side character who like For some reason, he's like this big hench guy. Like I think he's a henchman of character, and he has to babysit them. Then they engage in a big chase and dressing in a woman's outfit. Oh, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean,
the jokes in this shitty movie are abysmal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and the whole movie's a fucking joke. I mean, you know, the writers literally don't care. They're just wiping their ass with a shitty script. I mean, DreamWorks, you know, you made a movie called Kung Fu Panda 3. That was fucking brilliant. You know, that was amazing. I mean, obviously then you have to make Trolls, which you didn't need to do that. I mean, I just don't understand. You know, to get a wider audience, you need to appeal to a wider demographic. But they don't. They copped out. They're like, nah, fuck it. It's for kids. You know, it's not like the adults will actually bring their kids to see the movies. Think again, you fucking twats. You know, kids are too young to go on their own. They have to be accompanied by adults. You have to at least be give them something to relish in. But with this movie, they don't. With the Boss Baby, they fucking cop out, and it's ridiculous. You know, I mean, it's certainly not as poisonous as the Emoji Movie, but we'll hang out. But it is the worst piece of shit that DreamWorks have cranked out, and it just goes to show that sometimes they don't give a fuck. They don't care. I mean, you know, they're going down the toilet, and if they don't change their ways, I am seriously going to lose all faith in them. I am riding on How to Train Your Dragon 3. I'm hoping that is going to save them, because this has proved to me that they are running out of ideas, and they do not have a fucking more. And, you know, so How to Train Your Dragon 3, please be great. Don't let the trilogy down. Please, please, please.
I think How to Train Your Dragon 3 will be a masterpiece, since it's written and directed by the same creative people behind the first two.
Well, I hope it is. So, because I'm, you know, I with the Boss Baby, I don't want a sequel. I mean, the fact is, this is like Logan, Wonder Woman, or War for the Planet of the Apes. This just goes to show the level of creativity in our industry. This film goes to show the laziness of our industry. People can be lazy about. I mean, all they do is animate things nicely, but there's so much more than that. Torture to sit through. It was a drag as well. The movie went on and on and on. As the movie went on, more and more ridiculous. What were you thinking signing the shit? Tobey Maguire signing the contract to the shit. And Jimmy Kimmel signing the contract to this shit. You know, I hope you got paid well. At least have come out of this shit fest. You know, I mean, I'm not a movie, but at least the story's more engaging than this. At least the story is interesting to a point. I mean, from my movie, you know, it was all right, but there was certainly an interesting argument. The whole honey idea of the humans thinking that the honey's been stolen. You know, it was a cool idea. I mean, but this is the worst idea. This is the worst movie they've ever made. And they're never going to recover from this, especially if they make a sequel, which is obviously now what's happening. So, Boss Baby, a steaming hero. Yeah! Woo! Well done! Fuck. And I had no desire to see Captain Underpants, because I didn't want the same experience. And I've read those books, and I didn't want my memory of them to be tarnished by that. Look very good, in my personal opinion. I don't know if you saw it, Harry, but yeah.
I still have yet to see it, but the reviews have said that it's actually good. Whether it is, I've yet to find out.
Well, hopefully it will at least be better than this.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah, the fact that a DreamWorks. The idiots that actually greenlit it were thinking with their wallets, not their hearts, when they wrote the scripts. I mean, the people who defend this piece of crap, saying it's just for kids, that's a weak excuse. I mean, that's like saying kids don't deserve good movies, which they do. Kids deserve great movies as much as adults.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. It's an unjustified point. It's an invalid point, and you just got to face facts. They don't care. They just thought, well, we need to make another movie. They were desperate. They couldn't think of any ideas, so they just slapped that on screen, and here we are. Again, I think since the Emoji movies come out, this movie's kind of been forgotten, I think, and probably for the best. The Emoji movie will stay in people's memories for a long time, which is unfortunate. I mean, that movie's a fucking we'll get to that later. But I mean, animated movies nowadays. I mean, DreamWorks. I mean, it's interesting to see the journey of DreamWorks since like the 2000s, since the millennium. Like, obviously, they used to do the hand-drawn films, which tell really good stories, like The Prince of Egypt, beautiful film, and that told the story expertly. Not so much. El Dorado was all right. When it came to the first Shrek, really hit their stride, and then they just kept making more animated movies, just more and more and more. And like seeing the journey of them was interesting. Shrek, from the first Shrek movie, I've always enjoyed seeing how far they've come. As I said, I liked Shark Tale. I thought it was good. I watched it on Netflix recently, and it's actually, I think it's actually kind of funny, and it's kind of cool. It's not like amazing, but I thought it was good, and it told, and there was a nice message that you don't have to, people lied to get their way to the top, but you don't have to. You can be a somebody where you are. You can be the person you want to be, but you don't need the fame and the fortune. You can just be you. And I like that. And I like that Oscar, the main character, he realizes that through Angie, the one who loves him, the fish that is fallen in love with him. I thought it was really sweet. And, I liked the friendship he had with Lenny, and it was good. It was good. I thought it was good, solid stuff. It was decent. I don't get why people hate it, really. It's nothing to be hated on.
I know, right? It's it's harmless fun, Shark Tale. I have never gotten the sheer hate for it, but I mean, believe there's still hope that DreamWorks can return to form with How to Train Your Dragon 3, despite suffering this severe blow with the Boss Baby.
Yeah, I really hope so, because if they don't, then that's it. I'm out. I don't believe in DreamWorks anymore, which would be such a shame. I mean, although I would obviously watch the new Kung Fu Panda movies. Obviously, they're doing another Kung Fu Panda trilogy, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, obviously they made Trolls as well, and that wasn't great. I think people only saw Trolls because of the cast, really, because it had an A-list cast. I mean,
oh yeah, Anna Kendrick, Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, and even Russell Brand was in it, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Then again, like animation studios nowadays, like comparing them, like Leica Animation, obviously who did Kubo and do all like the stop motion projects. I think they're doing well, but I don't think they get enough recognition.
They don't. Their movies are not making the money that they deserve.
Yeah. Coraline was produced by them, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Lee, welcome to the Hangout.
How's life?
Yeah, it's good. We're talking about the stinky nappy of DreamWorks. What the fuck?
He just left.
What just happened there? Oh, okay. Well, there was no reason to leave, but well, fair enough. Add him back in. I mean, every animation studio has their duds. I mean, I'm saying Pixar aren't without their flaws, but I still believe that Pixar are the strongest animated studio out there at the moment. They've had a great run. They've had a quite consistent run of great movies in their canon. But I mean, yeah, they've had some poor ones as well. And of course, Illumination Entertainment, who I think are probably the weakest. They are struggling. They're only riding on the Minions and the Despicable Me franchise.
Yeah, and I thought Despicable Me 3 sucked. I thought it was the worst of that franchise. They really need to end that franchise and start making something original.
Yeah, they should. I think a trilogy is fine, but there's no need to carry it on. They've dragged it out for long enough, and plus, with the Minions movies, movie, obviously they're doing another one, I believe. Like I just thought, well, there's not much. You can't really connect with the characters because all they do is make noises. You know their names, but they're just going on a quest, and it's like, oh, I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't really care. Like I couldn't invest in it basically. And Sing was just the most unoriginal idea ever. I mean, it wasn't a bad movie, but it just wasn't like it just wasn't anything special. I thought, only kids can like it. I don't think Illumination could make animated movies for adults. I just don't think they can do that. Whereas Pixar, like they have the balls to do something like Inside Out and Toy Story, which are just gems, and they actually could appeal to adults as well as kids. And I mean, no wonder Alan loves Pixar as well.
Exactly. Are, are the kings of animation in the 21st century. Or although I still think Disney are the greatest animation company of all time. Without them, we wouldn't even have Pixar if you think about it.
Yeah, true. And now they've obviously teamed up as Disney Pixar.
Yeah, and Disney started animation in the first place back 80 years ago with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Yes, that is a good point as well, because I can't believe that movie's 80 years old.
And it's still completely holds up.
Oh, absolutely, definitely. I used to watch that so much. I mean, but it's interesting when you find out how they do it and how long and laboriously it takes to not only design the characters, but then to actually animate them. They have to design the world, they animate the character, then they, it's keyframes. There's just so many frames to edit in. It's probably harder to make an animated movie than it is to shoot a live action movie. Although both have their ups and downs. Animation, obviously, you don't need the actors to express themselves. You only need the voice, really. And obviously now technology's moved on to motion capture, as we've seen in like films like Lord of the Rings and Avatar and the new Planet of the Apes trilogy. Well, there's just so much more that we can do now. You can basically do anything now.
Yeah, yeah. Now your imagination can, and yeah, and basically, yeah. Even though Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is 80 years old, it will last throughout time, whereas Boss Baby will fade into obscurity. I mean, Snow White, pure genius. Boss Baby, pure garbage.
Yeah, It's a stinky nappy that you just can't get rid of.
Definitely. I does that conclude our thoughts pretty much?
Yeah, I mean, I might give it a couple of minutes to see if Lee is going to join us. If not, then I'll call it a night. But no, it's been interesting to talk about the Boss Baby because it's actually, since I reviewed it, my memory of it is kind of fading. That's funny, as you said, people would forget about it. I'm starting to forget about it, as in the full film. Like I remember bits and pieces of it, but I can't remember all of it, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I remember so little indeed. Well, every time I try to remember it, it reminds me of the torture that I had to face back in March.
You thought Daniel Craig getting whacked in the balls was torture. This is really something else.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yes, you ain't felt nothing yet either. Ah, Lee, welcome. Lee. Oh, right. Well, I was kind of be on mute. As it's your turn to basically give your thoughts on the Boss Baby. I guess if you... Okay. Have you seen the messages as well, Harry?
Yeah, yes, he's on mute apparently.
Yeah, he's trying to find a quiet place. Yeah, how would you say is the most underrated DreamWorks movie that you've seen?
Most underrated DreamWorks movies. Well, I think their hand-drawn films are the most underrated, like Prince of Egypt and Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron, because nobody mentions them anymore when they bring up DreamWorks.
Yeah, Spirit was a lovely film. I remember watching that when I was a kid, and I always remember that being quite powerful, like quite dramatic. And I like the fact that the horses didn't talk. I thought that was great.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't need dialogue. They could communicate through their expressions. I mean, yeah, that's DreamWorks really were back then.
Yeah, I guess they were always trying to play catch up as well, because Disney had a whole legacy of animated features over the years. And DreamWorks, I guess, were trying to establish themselves in a different way. And I think that's where they took flight. I mean, especially with films like you said, like Spirit and the Prince of Egypt. Joseph King of Dreams was good as well. That was interesting. But yeah, I mean, nowadays grew up with the animated, like the CGI ones, so they're more familiar, I guess. Like I remember actually. Do you remember seeing the first Shrek movie for the first time?
I do on video. Yeah, it's such nostalgic memories. I was only 6 when it was released.
Oh wow, yeah, I think I was 4. So I although I do remember being taken to see it at the cinema. Surprisingly, I have vague memory. I think that might have been the first film that I remember seeing at the cinema. Funnily enough, I can't remember any far back than that. I mean, I did see the first Harry Potter, but I think that came out later in the year.
Oh yeah, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. That's one of the first ever movies I remember seeing on the big screen.
Yes, and it was definitely a joyous experience. I mean, recently actually, when Fantastic Beasts came out, they in my cinema anyway, they re-released the first 8 of them. only a couple of showings. You could go like a really like you could see them for like £4, and they would rerun them. It was great. I mean, I didn't get to see all 8 of them, obviously, but I saw some of them. I went back to, and again, Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, and then the 2 definitely Hallows movies. So it was really interesting to see them on the big screen again, and it definitely brought back a lot of memories because I'd seen all of them in the cinema before. You know.
Yeah, Red. Oh yeah, you were lucky to see them all again on the big screen. Gosh, I remember seeing them all. It was wonderful. Yeah, and my favorite Harry Potter movie so far would be the Deathly Hallows Part 2. That is a cinematic masterpiece.
Yes, it's such a great movie. It really does graphically more or less. I mean, there are a couple of niggles I have with it, but hopefully, I mean, like the Dumbledore storyline, like wasn't particularly focused on, but which is annoying because at the time I thought, oh, they're not going to come back to Potter, so they just obviously now Fantastic Beasts 2 is going to pick that up, so hopefully that will make it great because it's actually the shortest of the series, and it was people. I think a lot of people than part 1. Although I really enjoyed part 1, was very good. Although some people thought it was.
Yeah, I love Deathly Hallows Part 1. That's my second favorite. I think it's the most underrated movie in the Harry Potter franchise. People just hate it because they complain about the boring camping scenes. Well, it wasn't supposed to be an action movie. They were saving the epic battles for Part 2, really.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you have the build-up, which is part 1, and then the finale, which is. I mean, they can basically go all out for it because they've developed all the characters. They told them like 2 hours, go out and finish. That's what they did, and I think. I mean, part 1, I think, is the most unique film in the series because there's not even any shot of Hogwarts. Like you see the Hogwarts Express, but that's it. You don't life at Hogwarts. We're out of Hogwarts.
Yo.
Oh, finally.
Yay! Sorry about that. I was at my auntie's dead. It was because my brother's training. So yeah, now I'm here. What's up?
Not
What's
much.
up, fellas?
What about you?
Grand. So what are we talking about? We talking about good old porn.
No, the Boss Baby.
Oh God, Boss Baby.
So yeah, what do you think of it?
It's horrible. The worst film of the year. It's just so bad.
I agree.
I cannot believe I had to rewatch a bit of it in school. Ugh.
Really?
Remember the animation's gotta be. Remember?
Yeah.
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 So, how's life, guys?
Yeah. Anything else you want to say on the Boss Baby?
Oh, it's fucking horrible. It's the worst. Actually, no. I'm thinking that it's as bad as Shrek the Third. Now, I'm thinking. I probably look like an emo Peter Parker here, don't I?
No, you're right. You just need to strut down the street. I mean, to be fair, Shrek the Third is bad. I think this is worst.
I don't know. I mean, Shark Tale is great. I love Shark Tale.
Oh no, I mean Third.
Yeah, I know. I was just saying because I heard you guys talking about some other films. Yeah, that was actually good.
Yeah, Shark Tale was a good film.
Hello?
Yeah. I'm still here. I'm just letting you talk about the Boss Baby.
Yeah, it's just fucking horrible. The characters are just terrible. It's so sad that Tobey Maguire is in it. That is so sad, though. That is sad.
And Alec Baldwin.
Oh, that kind of it. I don't even know him that much.
He was in the God Awful Cat in the Hat movie as well.
Oh, I don't remember. Oh God, anyone want to give it? And you know what? No, the Boss Baby's also gay as well. He probably has sex with the child every night. Here, guys, I made this edit for a friend. He wanted me to do this.
Okay.
Harry, do you see it?
I don't see it. Sorry.
Donald Trump is
It's a
good.
message.
That's good. Yeah, a lot of
And
people
all the
did say-
Boss Baby does is all day just going, ooh, ooh, ooh.
You sound more like Linguini from.
Yeah. Ooh.
Wow. Harry, his impression of Linguini was great. All right, I'm lost now.
All right.
Well,
See you later, guys.
Thanks to. It's been great. So, Lee and Harry.